What's up, YouTube? Mike from Mass Aquariums, and in tonight's video is a viewer commenter request. Believe it or not, I do read every single comment and I do reply to every single comment, because if you're gonna ask a question, don't you want an answer to the question? But I've been getting a lot of comments on Substrate. Now, for your advanced fish keepers, this might not seem like a big deal, but to a lot of people, this is a big deal. Myself included, when I was starting off. What is Substrate? I didn't even know what Substrate was the first couple of videos I watched years and years ago. I mean, my dad, when we were starting up fish tanks, didn't say, "Son, what kind of substrate do you want in this tank?" And I would have said, "Fruit roll-up? Pops? Rice Krispie treats? What are you talking about, Dad? Let's go shoot some hoops." Anyway, the substrate of an aquarium is what you decide to put on the bottom. Now, it could be gravel, it could be sand, it could be dirt. There's many different substrates you can use for your aquarium. You could have a bare bottom tank with absolutely no substrate. Now, bare bottom tanks are really nice for breeding. They're really nice for cleaning. You can actually aquascape really nice bare bottom tanks. If you had a bare bottom tank with some really nice driftwood, some nice tie-on plants like Java fern, Anubias, your tank can be just as beautiful as any dirted tank out there. So let's start with bare bottom. You can have no substrate or your ground cover at all. You can go with bare bottom. You can go with pea gravel, all sorts of sizes, all sorts of colors from your local fish stores, PetSmart, Petco, your LFS. They have brown, they have tan, they have white, they have blue, they have purple, they have all different styles, all different kinds, and they have all different millimeter sizes, from fine to real fat to even huge rocks. You can go with your entire substrate can be rocks like the size of dimes or nickels. It really doesn't matter what you're going to do for your substrate as long as you like it. Now, when I say it really doesn't matter, it does matter for certain things. If you want to do live plants, certain substrates will benefit your live plants, like dirt, like aqua soils. A lot of brands are coming around with, they're really fine, not as fine as sand, but the millimeter is maybe 3 or 4 millimeter, and they're all aqua soils, and they'll be packed with nutrients for your plants. They really help start a planted tank off great. Your African cichlids love sand. You don't want to put dirt in an African cichlid tank. They're going to dig it all around. They're going to make your tank look like absolute cloudy mess. Trust me, I've actually had a yellow lab and Boona African cichlid in this tank. They completely destroyed it. So, you have your bare bottom. You have your pea gravel or your rocks. Now, if you're going for plants, you're going to want maybe some sort of aqua soil. You can also go with pea gravel, and you can also go with sand. If you're going to do dirt for your substrate, line your entire bottom of your tank with dirt. You are going to want to cap it. That means you're going to want to put a layer of about 1.5 to 2 inches of gravel or some sort of substrate that's going to hold that dirt down and not allow it to penetrate your water column. You want to hold it down so that it provides the nutrients your plants need, but doesn't get stirred around like crazy, and you're going to constantly have a cloudy tank. African cichlids love sand. Let's talk a little bit about salt water. I know I'm flying through this, folks. I'm just trying to get you guys the info you need. Salt water. You can also use any type of substrate for salt water. You can use heavy millimeter gravel, you can use sand, you can use really fine, like Bahama oolite sand. That's what I have in my 40-gallon. In my 10-gallon reef, I have crushed coral. Now, crushed coral is another substrate you can use for reef tanks, for African cichlid tanks. It'll raise your pH. There's a lot of calcium in it, and you can also use that in your, let's say, just a regular tropical tank, but you might want to check out what kind of fish and what kind of pH range you have. That's a whole nother story in itself. But substrate. For all you guys asking me about substrate, here's your video. There is tons of substrates. For you beginners, just get some gravel. Get whatever color you like and put it in your tank. You can grow plants in it with root tabs, without root tabs, and it's going to look absolutely gorgeous. I have a low-tech tank, had 5-10 low-tech tanks over the years, all gravel, all tan and brown gravel. I absolutely love the way it looks. It's going to look awesome in your tank, and that's personally my favorite substrate. Even though this tank is dirted, gravel is my favorite substrate. Now, I have some great announcements. If you didn't watch my video last night, my aquarium box is live, folks. Go to www.myaquariumbox.com and get your subscription to myaquariumbox.com. You're going to get, every month you're going to get a box packed full of goodies. We have saltwater and freshwater boxes, and you're absolutely going to love what comes to your doorstep. Now, one of the great things about my aquarium box is the sponsors we have. Flipper being one of our sponsors. This scraper puts the mag float to shame. This thing is, the magnet on this thing is unbelievable. The softness of the scraper itself does not harm your glass. The best thing about this scraper right here is this blade on it. Now, you pull this scraper out about 6 inches, turn it 180 degrees, and now this blade flips over right in your tank, and you can scrape all sorts of green spot algae, whatever that hard to reach algae is. You know, you're going to scrape this left and right, you're going to scrape it, whatever, all your glass. Then when you have the hard to get algae, you just pull this out, turn it 180 degrees, the inside magnet flips, and now you got your blade. This comes with also a plastic blade for your acrylic tanks, which is money. This flipper is unbelievable. Now, if you go get your subscription to my aquarium box and get your box, you're automatically going to be entered to get a flipper of your own. Now, the smallest flipper retails for $40. This is a medium one. If you can imagine the largest flipper magnet, $80 value, folks, for you, just for subscribing to my aquarium box and getting your box. You might get one, who knows? So, I hope you got some good info on this. I hope I didn't bore the shiznit out of you. For you beginners, I hope I answered your substrate questions. I know I made it long and drawn out, but you know what? It's late. I'm having fun with YouTube. I'm having fun with my tanks, doing tons of water changes. So, this is it. Flipper, unbelievable magnet, sponsor of my aquarium box. Mass Aquariums, Substrate, go subscribe. I'll put a bunch of links down below. I'm out. Out.